Hello, hello. Welcome to our next Let's Learn series. We're doing Trials of Mana. This is a remake of the Super Nintendo Japan-only title, which was called Seiken Densetsu 3. And here it got remade a few years back and ported eventually to PC. We did a Let's Play of this back 2 years ago, so it's been a long time. So let's go over the basics. You got your new game, then you got your new game plus, which unlocks after you clear the game at least once. Now, New Game Plus is pretty straightforward, as you can see here. Basically, it resets the character. Let me see. Hold on. So basically, how New Game Plus works is it carries over abilities from characters that were not chosen in the previous playthrough. However, it will reset your last active party. So let me check my notes on that. Sorry. Okay, so it only resets the levels of the characters you actually pick. So if you pick characters that were not in the party before, you're fine. And if you pick any difficulty other than the highest level one, whoops, yeah, there we go. See, yeah, there's expert and no future. If you pick no future, it will reset you to level 1. Meaning any other characters are safe. And honestly, if you do New Game Plus, I recommend resetting your character levels. Otherwise, you're going to be bored to tears because you're just going to end up curb stomping them. And this is true of anything below Expert. Expert is his own beast. You keep you'll keep access to chain abilities of characters that you did not use previously, and you can use them right away. But you got to unlock the slots to put them in, which are done via stats. You'll keep all your equipment, but you may not be able to equip it if it's for different characters or classes. That's something to keep in mind. And that there is a merchant shop near the mid game that sells awful equipment that looks awful, but it's actually the best equipment for class swaps. We'll go into that more in time when we get to that city. And the hardest difficulty is assuming you're going to be min-maxing everything, so we'll go over that in time. So anyway, yeah. If we port this over, we will have abilities from, Riesz, Hawkeye, and Angela. So yeah, that's how it does work. We also have the abilities from the other two characters because we didn't use them, but only the characters that get picked will be reset. So we're going to be doing this with a clean save as always. Notice the difficulty options here. So notice it. It says no difficulty on the story. That's kind of true because the difficulty of the story is depending on the path. So anyway, beginner is pretty easy. Easy is straightforward. Normal is actually really easy compared to hard is where the game actually feels like where it should be on difficulty. Normal is you can still steamroll after a while. We'll be playing this on hard because, yeah, why not? Okay, so here's how the party composition works. Basically, you have have a main character which determines your story path, and notice they are grouped up. And it's actually almost the exact one. Alright, so sorry, let's check my notes. Basically, notice that they're all grouped up, and yeah. So we have. Let's go back to the start. We have Duran, Angela, Kevin, Charlotte, Hawkeye, and Riesz. Now, your main character determines your story path. Duran and Angela will have the Dragon Emperor. Kevin and Charlotte will have the Dark Lich, and Hawkeye and Riesz will have the Dark Prince. Now, what that means is, after you reach the Mana Holding Land, your story will alter to suit your main character's final boss, and you cannot have you can have two companions from the same story, but your main character is the only one that determines what story you get. So let's say we have Angela and Duran in the same party. Now, if either one is the main character, we will be on the Dragon Lord path. It's called Dragon Lord in this game, but I call it Dragon Emperor from the original translation. Now, and if we have taken Riesz or Kevin, we will still be on the Dragon Lord path. This is true of swapping around any other ones. Now, what I suggest you do is on a clean save for a new game, pick Angela or Duran as your main character. Then do a game with Charlotte or Kevin as the main. Then Hawkeye or Riesz, because as it is, the Dragon Emperor is the medium difficulty. Dark Lich is the easiest of the paths, and the Dark Prince is the hardest of the paths. Now, we're going to be doing Dragon Emperor first, so we're probably going to be picking Angela because her magic is actually really strong. She was strong in the original, but her level 4 upgrade in the remake is absurd. It's very strong.
I'm Angela, Princess of Altena.
Now, a decent party you want to consider is having Riesz as your secondary. Or, let's see, I would say...
I'm Riesz. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
You could double up with Dark Prince, because Hawkeye is really strong, and he has, depending on which way you go with his evolutions, you can have strong AoE. Let's see, I would say... Yeah, I would say this is a pretty decent spot because you get debuffs and buffs with this party comp, and we'll be going into that real shortly too.
My name's Hawkeye, renowned thief from Navarre.
In Altena.
Okay, I guess we can't skip cutscenes. Oh, or not. Oh, it's done by the A button. All right.
Oh, come on, Jose! Oh, hang on. I do not need another trip down your... Fine, I just...
Okay.
There's Victor. Hey, Victor! Hey!
Oh, have you been... Jose.
Angela, with a heavy burden dogging her steps, Angela grew up fatherless, though she knew. Starved for attention. Though Angela...
Ugh, I'm so bored. Why does nothing ever happen around here?
Let's see. See, we can't actually check our available jobs, our available classes right now because we're not at the point where we've actually leveled them up. There we go. Make sure to make good use of the shortcuts, especially if you're playing on expert or no feature, because those items are going to be critical. And even in lower difficulties, there are going to be modes where you want to have strong, stuff on your radio. Yeah. Sorry, I gotta get used to this. We've been playing Metal Gear Solid alongside this, so muscle memory's kicking in. And it has been 2 years since we played this, so yeah. And I forgot we could do bunks inside here.
The Crimson Wizard. I'm not.
Oh, there you are. Now is not the time.
Please hurry. You're
I'm trying to interact and I'm just jumping.
Her Majesty is preparing our troops to invade.
Now, something to note about this is you can collect items here that you cannot get until later on if you do not get them now. Because at some point or another during the story, you will go through all the towns for each character.
sent for me?
So you go through Charlotte's, you go to Kevin's, Duran's, and all that. Your choice of starting character will affect whether or not you can get some items early or not.
Again, legend says
How will you do?
if we use your body as a vessel,
But Mother.
you've been a useless blight on my lineage for far too long. She's gone.
I don't think it was ever explained how that happened. Like guess she just noped out. At least I don't remember it being explained how she did that. And take note of this area. Right now it's level 1, so you can do a little bit of farming, but it's not worth it this early on. Except for maybe to get yourself to level 3 or something.
The east. That might be my only option.
Now, if you come back to this, when you come back to this later as part of the story, you are going to be dealing with level 18 to 19 enemies by default. Easy peasy.
I actually won. I think.
Let's take a look at our training real quick. Okay, so, this is how you increase your stats in this game. Now, generally speaking, you want to cater to each character's strengths. Angela is your big magic caster, so you're going to be looking at increasing her int first. Notice the training points. You get training points every time you level up. Let's see. Notice what it does. This increases your damage by 5%. And if I remember correctly, every time you increase your intelligence, you also get damage on top of that. Notice there's also the requirement of you have to acquire the requisite elements of power. Now, this is tied to Wisp, who you get extremely early on. He's actually your first one. So it's worth to consider getting 2 points in, Holy Bolt early on. This is also a pretty decent ability, especially when you get the upgraded versions via other classes. Now remember, these are not equipped normally. You have to equip them actively. And notice, each chain has, more than one. Yes, sorry. Each chain has an element. This is intentional. You are meant to not just min-max only one or two stats. You're meant to eventually get all of them. And some have higher priority than others. Like this, int and spirit are higher priority for Angela versus, let's say, Duran having strength and stamina as priorities. And when you get access to your second and third upgrades, then you're going to have be able to put more points in, as well as your fourth upgrade, which is something you only have to worry about in the post game. Notice you get XP bonuses for being extremely quick. So the more powerful your party, the better the rewards. There's also modifiers like ability-based as well as item-based bonuses. And notice what this area is blocked off. We can't go to it as part of the story because it's unlocked later on. Man. Just like I never stopped, huh?
Duke, I want to go. Where am I?
Oh, God. I'm going to have to get used to this. The jumping.
Good, you're awake. Cheery, look. Yay! Can I play with her?
No, don't bother.
Yay! I think I'll go for a walk to boost my mood.
Now, there's not much point in trying to buy anything here because, anything you can get, it's not really worth it.
Welcome. Come again.
But I'll show anyway. So
Welcome. Lots of wares to
see,
browse.
you only have your starter gear here, unfortunately. You know, when you come back to this later as part of the story, there will be upgraded gear available. So run around, talk to people you want, but otherwise you got stuff to do here.
Ma'am,
Sometimes people lose
the priest of light.
to find your way. Huh? Come.
Holy City Wendel, huh? I don't know what awaits me there, but I guess it's bound to be better than getting caught here in my own kingdom. I'll go. I mean, nothing could possibly be worse than staying cooped up in the castle. And if I learn how to handle my magic, maybe my mother will welcome me back. There's a chance, at least.
Okay, so apparently we can't skip this.
Heart heavy with the Queen's rejection. Angela left Altena as a wanted criminal with a price on her head.
And I'm just, sitting there thinking, first time. It's a recurring theme with Square Games to have a price on your head at some point or another. Okay, we cannot skip these. Unfortunate.
Oh, come on!
So this is your first big road. Well, not really a big roadblock, but this is a roadblock store. I'm tongue-tied. I need water. So this is your first roadblock in the story. It's not a hard one at all. It's actually very easy, and it's also where you pick up your first party member.
Hey, it might not be my place to meddle, but you should stay inside when beastmen are. I'm free until then. Or not. Don't worry, I'm a joke.
So, depending on who you picked, you can actually get your first party member here. If your second party member is Charlotte, or your second or third party member is Charlotte, do not get her until you reach the Holy City. Otherwise, you can get your second party member here, and your third party member, if I remember correctly, comes up when you're escaping, a different area.
Pardon me. My younger brother is missing, and I must find. I see.
Beastmen of Faerie look like humans ones during the day. Hey, if you're trying to leave the city, night is... The whole lot of them tend to get together and brawl amongst themselves.
If it's easier to sneak around at night, I'll just go to the inn and rest until then. I am not about to risk my complexion by staying up all night.
Angela is, she's got a problem. Oh. Ah. Damn. All right, there we go. All right, so let's get out of here. Oh, now I remember. Okay, so your second party member will show up at the entrance to the cavern, and your third party member joins up when you get captured not too long after this. Now, the thing about your third party member, if your second companion is Charlotte, then she actually joins at the cavern alongside your second party member. If you're building a certain comp or anything, you got to remember that. That you know, if you choose Charlie as your third, you'll have your full party by at a point in the game where you do not normally have that. As the upcoming boss is designed around the idea that you have two party members. They can be an advantage. Now we're actually going to put this into, spirit in order to get access to Holy Bolt as soon as we get the elemental. And our base magic points have also increased. Thought we got a chain ability. Well, whatever. Make sure to pay attention to your target's hit points when executing the class strikes, because that can happen. Now, as part of the story, you can't get, can't get through here.
Dispel this. I need to find someone who can break the spell.
AKA, we gotta keep moving. So you have to go through there as part of the story in order to trigger the next events. Now you can, if you have the money, upgrade it here a little bit, and it'll help you do the next 2 areas or so.
Welcome. Lots of wares to browse.
And we have just enough.
Good choice.
I'll make use of this.
Your first companion will come equipped with an upgraded weapon and armor, if I remember right. We're about to find out, though.
No one believes me, but I saw it. A strange.
And this light is part of the story.
Huh? What's that? A light?
I gotta get readjusted to this.
That weird light was definitely magical. Maybe if I follow it, I'll find the mage who cast it.
Notice the enemies in here have leveled up. So nice to just like to just stand there and wait while we're doing things, you know? Isn't that cool? Okay. Oh, make sure to grab this. Grab every single item you can get. You open up 200 chests, you get an achievement. So, barring certain instances, you kind of want to be careful with your class tricks because they can just go off off target completely.
Are you hurt? I'm Angela. I see. What? Oh, never mind. That is where I'm headed. I can get us through the barrier. The Sanctuary of Mana? That came from Astoria.
I don't know why you say mana. Mana, it's mana.
Let me rest inside you. Whoa, wait. Don't delay. We must see to it. Ah! Hurry. Fine. So, why are you heading to Wendel? I don't know what to do anymore. I'm looking for answers. Oh, I see you haven't had an easy time yourself. What happened? This looks like the work of how...
Now, remember there used to be a bond ability you can get here. We may have missed a step to do it before this story step happened. Let me check this because I know there's a story step around here, for to do the bond. Oh, so we gotta find the dog. Looks like we missed it. We did have to interact with the dog. But she's not here, so I don't see her. So that is a missed ability. It's not a critical one, fortunately. You know, if you look at the good, all the abilities, you are going to want to, take note of that. So notice if you're in battle, you can't interact with a chest, or you can't interact with, item pickups like that. And notice our second companion, our first companion is here now. Since we picked Riesz, she will be our first one.
Blocking the cavern route to Holy City Wendel.
Oh, well, actually,
A Faerie can get through the barrier. Oh my. Would you mind terribly if I...
And so this allows you to go back and play the starting it's the starting chapters of the other main characters. You can't carry over, you can't carry over the items or anything. So if you want to explore their story before deciding whether or not you want to have them as a main character, you can do that. Here we're going to be skipping that because again, you keep the items you gain from there. You can't save either. So basically, it allows you to see their events up to this point.
I am the princess of the agents from the Thieves of November.
And see, this is what happens anyway.
The wind's gone, Alrant. I will find those feet, but I have not yet. My father wants to... Oh, I have not yet introduced myself.
Now now that you have your second party member, you can switch the active combat one. The other two will be controlled by AI. I strongly suggest if you have Riesz in your party, make her your main combat lead
allow me.
because she's by far one of the strongest characters in the game, and I think she's actually stronger than Duran in a pure melee role. Let's see. We're not going to increase that for a bit. Despite it seeming counterproductive, you can actually allow her intelligence to be increased last, because there's actually some other stuff that becomes more important early on, like diamond shards becomes important pretty early, as well as cyclone. But cyclone is hard to get, and plus you don't get that until your third element. Now, being an Amazon, her default class will have kind of an even spread of stats, veering towards more strength than anything else. However, once you get her upgrades, then she's going to be looking at getting stuff like spirit, intelligence, and more. So early on, I would say, get strength, because that directly affects her damage. And consider early spirit, because the victory CS boost is very useful on her, because she gets AoE chain strikes very early on. Well, not chain strikes, class strikes. See, you have to equip them in order to use them. We don't have any on her yet. And notice that she starts out above Angela, even though we've been leveling up a bit.
So impatient. Give me a moment. I'll get rid of the barrier. There. You should be fine now. I'm impressed that you managed to travel this far by yourself.
I am captain of the Amazon Guard. I am quite proficient with a lance or spear.
That's encouraging. Let's head to Wendel. So, I can take a break and leave the fighting to you, right?
Well fought.
And this right here is why I always suggest having Riesz in the party, no matter what your comp is. She's just too good. And she's also got a very interesting class evolution paths, depending on what your party comp is. And when we get to our first one, we'll be going over all that as well. So our first one is not going to be for a long time. You have to be level 18 to do your first one, then you have to be level 38, plus have the appropriate item. Oh, right, that's the evade. Well, we're not trying to evade. I would say for this area, try to get up to level 6 or 7 if you can. Now, Charlotte is your third party member. This is where you get her. You skip anytime you have Charlotte as your third party member. You always get her at the end of the cavern.
Oh, I thought it was Iguana, but you saved me. Hey.
And Charlotte is adorable.
I grew up with no parents, but there was one point my grandpa asked Heath to go to Astoria. I didn't want anything to happen to Heath. By a horrible twist of fate, a creepy-looking man took Heath away. And then I got a little lost and felt if you hadn't been there, it would have been good night, Charlotte. Oh, stop crying. Well, I'm on my way to win. Oh, you want to see? You didn't know it, but you know, Wendel isn't far from here. You might need my help getting there, but bye-bye.
And this dialogue does change if she is your third party member.
Well, I guess that's the thanks I get for inviting her along.
So your party members can only be the ones you chose at the start of the game.
It's the enemy. Priest of Light is in this city, right? I wonder what he's like. Thank you so much for taking me here. Hurry! We need to request an audience with his eminence.
Welcome. Lots of wares to browse.
Oh, good choice.
This is useful.
Come again.
Yeah, here I am taking the armor shop that's next door. But nope, it's all the way over here.
Welcome. Lots of wares to browse.
I had wanted this. I love shopping.
Come again.
So, generally speaking, whenever you hit a new town, you're going to want to gear up.
The hour is late. Please.
Please, there's no time. The beast.
What? Oh no.
Funny how we say that, and then they said move us, stand aside. Ah.
Please. Accept.
So you're the Priest of Light, You're...
Whoa.
I am Riesz, the Princess of Alrant. I was unable to save my father and country, but I will not stop until I find my brother.
No! Alrant has fallen? I fear that without the help of the goddess of mana, there is nothing I can do to help your kingdom. There is no other way to bring Alrant back to its former glory.
Wait! I have something to say. Your evidence...
Withering? But without the mana tree, the seals on the mana stones will...
Huh? What is that?
You're acting like this doesn't affect you.
What? There's no way. I'm sorry. But the mana in the world's so depleted. Well, that's good for you, but what about me?
Would that I were able to bear your burden. However, once a fairy finds a host, they are bound to them for their...
The funny thing is, there's loopholes around this. Technically speaking, a fairy, it mentions death, but it doesn't mean the host has to die. A fairy can die, and that breaks it, but a fairy can just become the new mana tree, and that fixes it.
Hey, stop digging around.
The Sword of Mana. It is an alternate. The one who holds the mana sword. The sword lies in the roots of... Before the mana tree...
Now, the funny thing about the mana sword is, it's an actual weapon you can get in Secret of Mana. And I don't know if it was used as an actual weapon in other games or not.
I'm so sorry.
Throughout the world are
What should I do?
in ages... However, the survivors curse the man. There is no...
Oh, that's how you skip. It's been so long I didn't remember. So we can actually skip cutscenes a lot quicker. All right. Let's see. Doesn't look like anything else to grab right now. We need to hit a save point.
Welcome.
Oh wait, we're in chapter 1 still. Okay, so when we get back to chapter 2, we're gonna check and see that dog's there for the chain ability. I thought we advanced to chapter 2 already. But it may be possible we just didn't get what we needed. Let's save that again so we don't lose the setting. Alright, so something important to note about, the day and elemental day, rather the day and night, as well as the day of the week. Some spells are stronger. I'm pretty sure they kept this interaction in the remake, but some spells will be stronger, and some enemies will be weaker. So let's see. It should tell us what day it was, right? Okay, Lumina time. So Dryad's day. Dryad is wood element, so we should have an easier time casting wood elemental abilities. And Lumina time means it's daytime, so Shade time is nighttime. Now, obviously we see different enemies coming out at night. If I remember correctly, some are actually stronger at night. And also, Kevin's werewolf form can only be used at night unless you unlock a certain ability that allows him to use it during the day. So, day and night cycles, as well as day and week, do play into this game. Anyway, so what I think we're going to do is we're going to do some off-screen grinding just a little bit to get up to level 6 or 7, then we're going to go on with the story. So we'll see you soon. Alright, so hello, we are back. So I made a minor mistake of, the previous bit. If you're in clean new game, you do not have the XP bonuses from New Game Plus that make leveling up a little bit easier at this point. If you're in clean new game, just get to level 5 and then move on, because you're going to have some issues otherwise. If you try to grind it out, because it takes a long time without a lot of XP bonuses. But as you can see, we got to level 5. We're in a pretty good spot. Anyway, now when you come back out here for the first time after talking to the Priest of Light, you're going to get a scene with Charlotte. If she's your third character, then she joins here for the rest of the game. If she doesn't, then she gets upset. But she doesn't hold it against you. See? She just calls you meanie, but she's a kid. You also get another scene in here when you go back through where the Faerie tells you which way Lumina is.
Let us work together to defeat the enemy. Stay true. We should work together to defeat this threat. The area is clear of threats. We have earned a rest.
Yeah, this is the point. Get the cutscene about Lumina.
Hostile entity, be careful. We won admirably. It is unwise to get in our way. Stay true. All right. Well fought. We overpowered the enemy. It is unwise to get in our way. We won admirably.
You have a nice little transport here. You know, it says power or charge tech, but you can use class strikes as well. Okay, we're going the wrong way. Hard to tell sometimes. You don't have to fight every single thing. Sometimes it can be more advantageous not to initiate combat or just to run. And here's the boss arena. Now, this upcoming boss is weak against Dark. It's extremely unlikely, unless you are playing in New Game Plus, that you have access to Dark. So, just use your party's class strikes and strengths.
I didn't think the light elemental would look so evil. No, this isn't the elemental we're looking for. It's a giant monster. So why do I feel mana power coming off of it? Is it even possible to fight a monster possessed?
Now, this fight is designed for 2 characters at most. If you have Charlatan, you have a little bit of advantage here.
We're just about done here. Time for the finishing blow. We cannot lose focus. We must win.
And notice what he's casting. So you have stuff that absorbs or otherwise is strong against light. You can use that against here. Again, it's unlikely you're going to have that unless you're in New Game Plus.
What is that?
And this is why, since we have Angela, you want to put your points into stamina. Yes, it's Spirit early on, because she gets access to her first spell that quickly. It's absolutely worth it, even if you're not going against light weak enemies, because she's your strongest mage character by far in this game. He's an absolute beast if she's allowed to get out of hand. And spoiler alert, her level 4 upgrade makes her out of hand. But we'll go into jobs, and I'm used to saying stuff like this, like jobs. So you might hear me make a call it jobs instead of classes. So sorry, but basically, she does have some very strong options in this game versus the original. And take a look at this is tell you what your elemental magic choices are. I shouldn't say choices. What you can get as a if you unlock that access, the element, and you do unlock all 8 elements over the game. It just tells you which ones you get as you get them as part of the story. Now, Saber is something that's only it doesn't tell you this, but some of these are only for specific characters. You basically have to be told it, or you have to look at each character as you try them out and level them up. That being said, anything with a saber on it is for Duran only. Healing Light, there's a few that share that one, but mostly it's Charlotte. Holy Bolt is Angela only. And it doesn't tell you every single one of these, so you kind of have to look at the stats and everything as you level up and as you unlock new jobs. We don't need to save right now. You need to go and check our training, though. Now she's going to... our next one is... It's going to be Gnome, so this is good that we get it now. That we don't have to do it with it later. Now, Riesz is probably the second best class strike user in the game. I say this because she gets the abilities like this very early on, and she has some of the strongest ones. The best one by far is Kevin. He is an absolute nightmare when he gets his class strike builds going. So it's very much a good idea to have her focused on that when she's in Amazon state. Oh, we still got one on the field.
We should leave this dark and treacherous terrain. This is my fight. No need to trouble yourself. I will not hold back.
So this is why I suggest taking Riesz in any party you make, because again, her level 1, it's an AOE, and that makes fighting very useful early on.
That was easy.
Now that we're captured, we get our third party member, assuming it is not Charlotte. So your third party member will always join up here, and if you don't have Angela in the party, she joins up, but not as a playable character or as part of the party. Angela will always show up here and be part of the escape.
Sorry for the wait. Let's get out of here.
And now that I think about it, it's also possible to see. It's also possible to see Duran. Well, we'll see. Hey, come on, let's get this guy. Hey. There we go. Chain ability. So this is a good idea to pick this up because early on she's going to be MP starved. And we need to get Hawkeye's points up too, so we'll take care of him in just a second. Alright, let's see what we got. Alright, so... Now, intelligence is kind of a wasted stat on him early on because only his in-game abilities will really benefit from that. So you can largely ignore it. And I'll suggest, going for, Spirit early on with him. Get that CS boost because he is, I think, American, he's the third best class strike user. Just because he's got some pretty useful ones, especially once you get his level 2 and 3 jobs. But his big gimmick is going to be luck. A lot of his abilities, if you especially go down the dark path, will scale off it as well as need high luck anyway. Now, something to note about chain abilities is if you equip one, you cannot equip it on anybody else. You have to unequip it or swap it around. So it's basically one per use. Need to adjust our strats a little bit. He doesn't really have moves right now, so you can just leave it down low. All right. Make sure to explore around because there are some items here and everything, as well as extra fights. Let's see, up ahead, yeah. You go on a trip to puzzle here. That's near the end of the zone. Oh, there it is. Trying to forget what that prompt was. They couldn't see that at first. Did we just clean these guys out? Again, this is why I always insist get Riesz for your first playthrough. There's another reason, but we'll get to that when we get to our first job change. Oh, that's right. So we need funny lover around here.
wise to get in our way.
So you gotta open the right one, or that otherwise you end up getting this. This isn't a bad thing. We wanted this open because this is extra area. Oh, we must have missed a flag somewhere. Probably need to find another one. Note how fast these guys respawn as well. So if you want to take some time leveling up, it's not a bad spot. Especially if you have the XP bonuses from New Game Plus. Up, see, there it is. It's been that long, okay? Fortunately, you don't have to click different levers. It automatically picks the right one. Now make sure to come up here and grab the chest. The chest is on the other side. Also, this is a one-time visit area. You cannot return here if you do not get items here now. Apparently it's not going to let us jump down. Invisible wall.
I hate to pick on such weak targets, but...
More fighting. So, funny enough, you can't fight the guys out here, even though we just broke out, so... Yeah.
Get aboard, quick! We're setting sail.
And here, if Angela was not in your party, this is where you see her and she gets left behind. And again, this just allows you to play Hawkeye's prologue.
Don't spread this around. Faerie, answer me this. If I go...
It's great that we're out of that prison and all, but
And now that you're in a new town, you should go ahead and consider upgrading. Oh, here we go with that again. So, if you have the ability to do it, you always consider upgrading your weapons. At least your main damage dealer, if nobody else. As you can see, we can only upgrade his.
Good choice. I have an eye for quality.
Come again.
This is something I really wish they did more, is just combine the weapon and armor stores.
Where's to browse?
But here is just weapon and item.
Oh, good choice.
You come again.
Now these are pricey, but they are extremely useful in mid and late game. Not to mention in New Game Plus as well.
Come again. Welcome. Lots of wares to browse.
Now we can find out buy helmets. And they're pretty cheap, so why not? It's a decent upgrade.
Looks useful.
Ah, okay, go get that.
I have an eye for quality. Oh, good choice.
This is useful.
Come again.
So generally speaking, helmets are cheap. Armor tends to be a little bit more pricey, and weapons are usually the most expensive.
Yes, hello? I am Von Voyage, and you are?
Like how in JRPGs you can walk in somebody's house and nobody cares. Except apparently in Final Fantasy VII.
You want to know what this is? There's only one easy way to Volsena from Maia, and that's the bridge.
And the funny thing is, we do go down this golden road later.
And it's full of monsters. Behold, with my new deluxe super.
Escaped Jadd, but it made his they say a young priest named Heath is the only one in Wendel who
And this is a side quest that I strongly recommend you do. Basically, it's finding a little cactus running around, and if you find him, he gives you sticker rewards. And they scale up after a while, too, so it's very useful, especially in New Game Plus. Note this is hard mode, and they're 2 levels above it. She's still doing that much damage. Again, I cannot overstate enough how much Riesz is a powerful pick for any party comp. especially if you're doing a clean new game.
I knew I had such power within me.
She's just crazy strong. She was one of my favorites by far in the original release. Oh, good thing there's no fall damage. Make sure to stock up on candies as well. When you're low level, they are lifesavers. No pun intended. But when you're low level, you have a lot. You have a low 100 hit points, and for a long time, you're gonna be in the 100 to 200 range. So candies will keep you stocked up for very low. For very little effort.
We have earned a rest.
Anyway, the first cactus is early on. I'm going to double check the location because I don't actually remember. But it gets easier when you have the map. Dun, 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 dun. Alright, so Little Cactus is on the Golden Road. Well, you got the first one. Okay, you should be up ahead at one of the curves. Yeah, it should be up just ahead. Let's go out to spawn.
Victory is easy with reliable companions. We won admirably.
Okay, so let me look at that map again. So it's after a low bridge. It may have just not reached it yet. Well, we'll see it soon enough.
This is my fight. No need to trouble. Okay. We won admirably.
There he is, see? It's hard to miss him when you know where he's at in the general area. And this is why you want to max them out. Look at what you get. So you get 5 you can find 5. Hey, right there. Undiscovered treasure boxes makes looting the areas much easier. And you get 10% discount and a 2x bonus every now and then. And the more you get, the better. And this is what really helps you out. It carries over to New Game Plus as well. So it's absurdly it's absolutely worth to go out and find him. And remember, he goes back to previous areas as well. So you're going to want to go back to Wendel, go back to Astoria. It encourages you to go back to old areas. And again, it carries over to New Game Plus. And they're automatically done for you. So Once you get 35, it makes it much easier to find them. Yeah, I'd say once you get her spirit up to where you'll see. Yeah, once you get the spirit up to 4, just go for strength because again, she's one of your best damage. If I remember correctly, she's the 3rd best damager. All right. And it's worth it to consider going in on magic points early on. Sorry, spirit boost, because that magic bonus is yeah. Sorry, tongue tied. Need water. Anyway, when you get that victory MP boost, really helps. And there's evolved versions of it in higher tier jobs. If I remember correctly, her level 4 one gets a very high bonus one. And you don't need to have this learned, but you do kind of have to. Get down there anyway, so kind of a moot point, right? Okay, everybody's topped up. Now here you have a very short area. It's also a decent spot to level up some more if you really need to. Yeah, you're going to want to consider cranking up your class strikes as well beforehand. Because the upcoming boss is a pain in the ass if you're significantly underleveled. In New Game Plus, oh god, expert it's a nightmare in expert. Let's go ahead and save. But we should be able to clear it right here. If you're a New Game Plus, you can use wind elements to mess with them pretty hard. Try to save your class strikes if you can. We should just go back and heal instead of burning up supplies, because you have a statue right here. As you can tell, this is definitely one of the more annoying, fights this early on. It's a bit of a stat check. In New Game Plus, this is mitigated a fair bit by usage of, when elemental attacks. Do not be afraid to use class strikes here. This is why I was saying stock up beforehand. When did we get this? Wow, okay, so buffs in this game are absurd. They are very strong, and you should definitely use them when appropriate. This is only good for Angela for the most part because she is the biggest abuser of it, so... But don't be afraid to use consumables. See how much damage it did? Good chunk of XP. It was enough to take us all to a level 9. So we just got 2 free levels off that.
Everyone, retreat! Maybe there's another route we can use to reach Valsena. We have to stop Altena from attacking. Somehow.
Alright, so we're going to cash out our points again. Now at this point, I'll suggest, try to make sure Angela can use all the spells as you get them. So start pumping luck once you've got her spirit up. Okay, you can ignore the victory and boost. This early on is probably not that useful. I'm just taking it because I liked it myself. But you can ignore her spirit, other than the Holy Bolt, and just pump that into luck because you want to have Cyclone as soon as possible. There is an upcoming boss that is made much easier if you can attack wind weakness. Well, yeah, no. The boss we beat is the one that unlocks Jin, right? Okay, never mind, sorry. But there is a boss later on that will be very weak against it. So go ahead and start pumping it as soon as you can. Now, this is an interesting ability. It's really useful in certain tank builds that are meant for expert and no future setups. However, if I remember correctly, there's actually advanced versions of Interception. I believe there's Interception 2 and 3 that can be unlocked later on by different jobs. Now, let's see. We got her. No, we don't have straight maxed out yet. Now this could be interesting in a pain build. Pain build basically means you're setting up stuff that as you take more damage, you do more damage. And I know there's a way to describe it. I just forget what. In Vampire Survivors, it'd be considered a retribution build, which is hilarious in its own right. And gotta take care of his. Now take note of your points. You are locked to this stat cap until you unlock your first job. Your first upgrade. Which isn't that bad because it means if you level up to a certain point, which is 18, then you have even stats distribution to work with. Now we're going to run over and talk to Bon Voyage again.
What? The bridge is down? Oh, I see.
Didn't he just make version 1? Well, whatever.
We must find that fuel.
I don't know. Let's just ask. Was there really a hidden entrance in Stonesplit Gap? I just hope we can find it.
this nuisance out of the way before we can go. How's that for a finishing blow?
Dwarf Tunnel is supposed to be...
Here you get Luminen, who pops up to show, it's an illusion. Something I like about this game is that the spirits all serve a natural use rather than just, being found and recruited. They actually have mechanical function in the game.
A village of dwarfs. Here? I never imagined there was so much to discover outside the castle. Come on, let's buy some nitramite. Come on, let's buy some nitramite.
They're pretty chill for someone who just got their privacy invaded, And this is a new area for gear, so you may want to consider upgrading. However, there is an achievement for not buying anything in the sense that if you save your money... First off, let's rest. Now, if you save your money and buy the material from the Watts who we're about to see, then you get an achievement as well as his chain ability. It's easier to do that in New Game Plus. But you still have to resolve the story objective here as well. Not just enough to do that. Oh, we got some nice items here. Make sure to plant and grow them constantly. The higher your level, the better loot you get. Now there are special seeds later you get. When we get one of them, we will go over what to do with them. There's a special strategy for that. So item seeds are very much safe to plant. Now I would suggest doing that early on in order to free grow your pots. And the pots are universal against across all ends. So if you grow it here, then it is grown out elsewhere. So don't worry about having to go backtrack to one specific end in order to, do it again. So. Man.
All these wares are good picks.
We don't need an upgrade that bad right now.
Come again.
Well, depends on what his price is. Remember correctly, his price was 2,000.
Watch the shop. Well, on that note. Well, all these wares are good picks.
You'll notice there's a shields entry. Only Duran uses those. So you will never ever see shields unless he is in your party. And even then you need to be on the light path. And we'll go over what the light and dark paths are, so...
nitromite, the better.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 5,000. Okay.
Who's asking? Oh, you want nitromite?
Oh, we cannot afford it right now, so it's best to, unless you have done some extreme grinding, or you're coming here from New Game Plus, just don't do that. Oh, that's right, discounts.
No, guess there's no deal then.
So he'll go down to 3,000 at most.
Oh, wait, I ain't got time to chat. There's just been so many dang quakes and rumbles down here. No time to waste.
Also, something you know about Watts is he's a recurring character in the Mana series. He actually first appeared back in Secret of Mana as the main blacksmith.
No, wait!
Here, blacksmithing is a thing because of the way weapons work differently in Trials of Mana than they did in Secret of Mana.
We have to try and bargain with Watts. Don't let him get away. Besides, I'm still a little worried that Gnome is missing. I have a bad feeling that I just can't shake. Okay. Who's both in dark in this cave?
There we go. Let's see. Who's the poison one? Oh, we're off. Okay. So you notice there's that dream read, which is honestly a very useful item if you need to do specific things like access the night market.
We should leave this dark and treacherous terrain. Here!
Watch out for the enemy.
And nice, another level up. Yep, going the wrong way.
We should continue on our journey as planned. Let us work together.
Oh, and considering combat K check, we need to check and make sure why are they not using heal items like you need to be.
Here we go. Again.
Okay.
Allow me. How's that?
The area is clear of threats. We have earned a rest.
Okay, that should be decent. Oh, that's probably why then, isn't it? There we go. That was strange that they, they weren't using it, even though we had it cranked up. So sometimes you'll need to tweak your stuff around. So something that can be annoying is the item interrupt. If you're using items, they will interrupt you, and it can be a pain in the ass. Especially on higher difficulties. And late game fights. Oh my god. I think I have some late game fights from Let's Play where I was just getting frustrated by the item interrupting. It felt very cheap. Okay, we need just him again. There we go. Now it should be good. Check it out, another Lil Cactus.
For a moment there.
Bunch of chumps.
Gotta get this news out.
Somewhere. Let's go. Fine then. Here I go. No. The wind. I will never give up.
Whoops. We're gonna need to buy a bunch of those soon, aren't we? There we go. We really don't have time for this. All right, boss time. Now, the boss is weak against Wendel stuff, but again, unless you're in New Game Plus, you will not have access to it.
Where on earth did this mole creature come from? No way! I'm not gonna let this thing eat us up. This is how it is done in the rough way! Stay true! Don't keep me waiting! You wish! This does not bode well. Everyone, stay vigilant! No!
What a waste of time. Don't think so. This is it. Don't think so.
Allow me. I will not hold back.
I think we made it angry. Watch out!
This is how it is done in the rough way. Don't keep me waiting. You'll regret this. Stay true. You wish. Allow me. Will not fall.
Okay, leave it to me. What a waste of time. Don't think so.
Allow me.
That one was on me.
I will not hold back. I will not fall.
No.
Here.
Whoops.
That one was on me.
I will not stop that.
But he's got a bit of a bulldozer attack on him. Jesus. Oh, we haven't been this rough. But then again, this is not a clean save, and we are playing on hard mode.
This is how it is done in the rough way.
Didn't realize we're out of candy. We're going to buy a bunch as soon as we get out of this fight.
Waiting. You'll regret this. Be gone.
Let's try that again.
Allow me.
Ooh.
Okay, leave it to me. This should do it. What? That
Ow.
was on me. Dwarfs?
There we go. So, yeah, make sure to stock up on items. Don't make the mistake I did here, not stocking up on items. Stock up as much as you can while affording weapons and armor upgrades. Because since we don't have Charlotte or Kevin or Duran, we're not going to have a dedicated healer.
Everyone doing all right? Woo! So that's the legendary subterranean mine.
And because we got Gnome, now we have access to more elemental magic, specifically Earth magic.
Allow me.
And we're now 2 points away from getting Cyclone. Now here's an interesting ability. I don't know if it counts status effect as buff or just debuff. The wording and tendency in Square RPGs suggests it's negative effects. But if it counts buffs, woo, abuse power. Anyway, notice that, I talked about this a little while ago, but notice we are at 6. Each time you level up your job, you'll get access to more points to be able to spend each tier, each stat.
Well, I'll be. You guys are
And this is how you get the Nitromite regardless in the story. You can buy it outright, but you still have to deal with the Jewel Eater and save Gnome.
Here, I'll send you right back to the entrance. You all take care now.
Now we're going to go back and buy, gear real quick. As well as stock up our items because we are desperate in need of resupplying.
Welcome. All these wares are good picks.
I had wanted this.
Looks useful.
I love shopping.
Come again.
Of course she likes shopping. It's not her money. Well, she's the main character in this one, so it is technically her money.
This is useful.
I have an eye for quality.
I'll make use of this.
Come again.
Alright, now to find the item store.
Well, all these wares are good picks.
We'll have to hold off on getting resupplying those, but we can absolutely stock up on candies.
Look at these. Good wares. Would you look at these?
We'll save that for later when we have much more money,
Come again.
to work with. Stardust herbs are very useful later on for reversing stuff like mini and other things. Did we already get that chest that we saw start? Well, whatever. We're in the wrong area, aren't we? Yep. If I was a dwarf, I wouldn't have gotten lost. Alright, so unfortunately we had a technical issue with the video just now. We lost a few minutes. But here we are making it out to the end of the area. Come on, pick up. Oh, no wonder. I got confused. That was a damn drop. Alright. Alright, so basically we're going back to Bon Voyage now.
Mission accomplished. We have obtained the nitromite. We should proceed to Maia swiftly, but do not jostle the fuel too much. That was easy.
You wish you never crossed paths.
Alright, so let's hustle. Dimensions don't jostle the fuel. It doesn't come up.
Hostile entities, be careful! This is how it is done in Alrant. Well fought. Okay.
Watch out for the enemy!
Okay. That was hardly worth the trouble.
Dun, 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 dun. Off we go.
Is up with this messed up terrain? Where is Altena? Oh my. This path may be the only route to Volcano.
And we're going to save here. Oh, we should have saved after taking care of his point. And we're going to pick it up here next time. I think we might actually do some off-screen leveling up, then move on, because the next, few bosses, we pretty much are expecting you to be very close to your first job upgrade, or to be already on your next job. So we'll see you next time when it's time to continue on.